Hi guys, welcome to the first video on my second, technically third channel. Why have I got a third channel? I don't know, I'm going through something. I'm going through like a Nikocado avocado phase. Just bear with. Anyway, for today's video, I saw a article on the Metro and I thought we could go through this together. Kidfluencers are making millions through social media, but is it all fun and games? Also, make sure you follow my TikTok. Firstly, follow this channel because we've got not that many subscribers, so need to get that up so I can get the sweet monetization. I'm kidding, it's not all about that. But definitely do be following my TikTok because I've been sleeping on TikTok for years. I look down on it. I still do kind of look down on some parts of it because it's like the Wild West over there, but actually, I'm finding that it's very enjoyable to make TikToks. I know, I've become one of them. Ethan Gamer is not like the other kids. He does gaming videos. That cannot be his real name. Otherwise, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? Sure, he still walks the dog, does his homework, cleans his room, but he also has 2.96 million YouTube subscribers, his own branded merchandise and his own app. Oh, and he's worth $7 million. Why is some kid worth $7 million? I'm not joking. Try not to be bitter. The 15-year-old boy has been posting gaming videos on YouTube for 8 years now and doesn't look set to stop anytime soon. Quickly, what's 15 minus 8? 7. So he's been doing it since he was 7 years. The theme of this video is, are children being exploited on YouTube? Because realistically, a 7-year-old can't create a YouTube account and start uploading and making content. The parents are helping out in some capacity. Knowing that there are children around the world who are watching my videos, laughing along with me and generally having a good time makes me feel really happy, explains. I see kids smile at my meet and greets. I read so many great comments on my socials and getting sent fan mail and fan art is just amazing. That's nice. That's the naive viewpoint, isn't it? It is nice, but there's a whole other side to this. Ethan is just one of many kidfluencers making money online. Did Metro come up with that term, kidfluencers? They're always coming up with stupid terms no one actually uses. Kidfluencers. Who has said that ever? Seen as the latest iteration of the child star, this new set of kid wonders on the block have been advertising products in self-made videos since 2015. Often touted as the trailblazer of young influencers, Ryan Kaji from Texas has amassed 30.9 million YouTube subscribers. 30, not 13. Even that would be ridiculous. He's 9, right, this article that it hyperlinks to, from 2 years ago, he was 9 years old, so he must be 11 now. Wait, since he started out 7 years ago, so let's say he's 11 now, what's 11 minus 7? We're doing maths on this. When he was 4 years old, a 4-year-old cannot make a YouTube channel by themselves. A 4-year-old does not come to that. Right, have you spoken to a 4-year-old? 4, 5, 6-year-olds? 6-year-olds, right, their decision-making skills. Some 4-year-olds would happily eat ice cream every day for breakfast, lunch and dinner, but you don't let them because it's not good for them. So why would Ryan Kaji's parents let him make a YouTube channel at the ripe age of 4? Well, it's estimated that through his unboxing videos and toy and game reviews, Ryan and his family earn a cool $25+ million a year. Oh, my Alizee, we've always had child stars. Yeah, and look what happens to them. They always turn out like messed up or on smack or that sounds really flippant. You know what I mean? Or with parents that are clearly exploiting them. Britney Spears, that case, that just happened. It's not like just because it's always been done doesn't mean we should have a new generation of child stars being exploited by their parents. Not even just parents, companies as well. Listen to this. The kidfluencer phenomena soaring. Children with large social media followings have so far generated $8 billion for the social media advertising industry. While individually they're earning millions by posting on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. It's in these countries and companies' vested interest to have children making loads of money. Charli D'Amelio is one of TikTok's biggest success stories. The 17-year-old went from having less than 1 million followers in August 2019 to 123.6 million in September 2021. Yeah, and look what's happened with her. She's 17 now. Anytime she does anything, she can go to the shops to buy a sandwich and she gets millions of people hating on her, adversely affecting her mental health. But sure, what did her parents do as soon as they saw that she was starting to make money or starting to do well with TikTok? Moved the entire family to LA for work. That's going to end well, isn't it? Now the teenager charges $100,000 for one sponsored TikTok video. With 123 million followers on TikTok, I can guarantee that she's charging more than that. Meaning she only has to post 10 videos a year to achieve millionaire status. To put her wealth into perspective, she earned more than each CEO of McDonald's, Exxon, don't know what that is, and Starbucks in 2021. Oh, Exxon is oil. Well, the CEO shouldn't be making millions from that. Stop digging up the ocean. Here in the UK, Ethan admits he is just happy to have found an activity he enjoys. I was 7 when I started watching gaming videos on YouTube, he explains. It was a hobby of mine and my dad, something fun we could do together. That's nice. I created my own channel in 2013, so I took off from there. I've been watching other YouTubers playing video games like Roblox and Minecraft, so I wanted to try it for myself. Oh god, not even good video games. Minecraft. Should be playing The Witcher or something. Because I was so young, it was just about having fun. It wasn't about the number of subscribers or being popular or anything like that. Now a teenager, Ethan, who lives in Cheshire with his parents, has devoted a large part of his childhood to posting videos online. For any adult, juggling a full-time job with a side hustle can be demanding, so how does he manage it? I tend to post at the weekend when I have more free time, when other kids have more free time to watch. I try and engage with the comments on YouTube and socials every day, but this can be difficult with lessons and other things. Shouldn't be doing that anyway. No. See, right, I've worked this out, yeah? We should all be interacting with each other less on social media. I worked it out because firstly, it's not normal to wake up, go on the metro and see like hundreds of different people's wildly terrible, any opinion that isn't mine is terrible, you see. You know, having Twitter is like having a constant news feed of nonsense. Going on the news is now also an endlessly scrolling news feed of nonsense where you're just barraged with so many opinions from like war, environment, oil, Boris Johnson doing something, constantly, right? So information overload is happening all the time whenever you use any social media, even if it's Instagram. Oh, that person went on holiday. Oh, that person did this. That person's taking a picture of their, I don't know, McDonald's, whatever. Lots of information overload. And then if you are a social media personality or non-personality and you have a sizable following and you're getting tens of thousands of comments about yourself or about the thing you're talking about, it's too much for the brain to actually deal with. Even if it is, right, say I do a video and I have 100 comments gassing me up, that's still not a good thing, because if I read all those comments, I'm going to start to believe it, you know, especially if you're doing it day in, day out, you're going to start believing your own hype, so that's not a good thing. So I've decided with my TikTok to disable the comments and just not, and that's how it's going to be moving forward. I wasn't sure at first, but actually it doesn't affect anything with the algorithm. I'm not there to interact with people. I'm there to just put up silly little content that I like. If people hated it that much and had that strong of an opinion about that, they can come over to my YouTube, leave a comment there, which I won't read, and engage with my YouTube. No, but also something I've noticed about TikTok is it literally is like the Wild West. Everyone just bullies each other over there. Like the amount of TikToks I've seen where the TikToks themselves are like bullying or shaming or body shaming someone or whatever, and then all the comments are joining in. I'm not having any part of that. I mean, I won't read them anyway, but even so, I used to have a YouTube Instagram, and then I got fed up of that because I was either constantly getting notifications, not like on my posts or anything because I didn't have post notifications on, but just constantly interacting with so many different people. It's not ultimately that healthy for you at the end. I'm not a robot, I'm not an algorithm, I can't sift through X amount of... I have comments on my YouTube channel which I engage with when I want to. That's it. And on the podcast channel, and that's it. And that's good enough for me. I don't think it's healthy to be reading through every single day comments about yourself. Whether they're good, whether they're bad, it is kind of irrelevant. So what, this 15-year-old reading through his comments every single day, it's a bit of a recipe for a disaster. You need to unplug out of that matrix. I am becoming a really social media user. My parents totally help me manage my time. Yeah, I bet they do for 7 million a year. I don't record or a specific schedule either, so it's never a chore. Okay, decent. Titania Jordan is Chief Parenting Officer at Bark Technologies. What a sentence. What the hell does any of that mean? An app that allows parents to monitor their child's text messages, social accounts, and emails for potential safety breaches. I don't know how I feel about that, because on one hand, it's a parent's duty to make sure their child is safe. On the other hand, a child does need some privacy. If a child has a diary, don't read it. Privacy isn't like it's not a privilege. It's just a basic right. While MP for Harlow, Robert Halfon, has recently described social media as crack for kids, Titania insists that there are benefits. It definitely is. It's crack for adults. It sets off your little dopamine receptors. I haven't worked out how to turn off notifications on. I'm just promoting my TikTok. That's what I'm doing. This is subliminal messaging. Go follow my TikTok. I haven't worked out how to turn off when people just like your videos, right? So whenever I go in the app and see that, you got 20 new notifications, whatever, my dopamine receptors like that. It's crack for adults, so it's definitely crack for kids too, especially as they're not good at regulating their impulse controls or emotions. Parents who are struggling to connect with their kids have found a way of doing so through kidfluencing. Oh my god, just go for a walk with them, read a bloody book with them. If a child is really interested in a game or an app and want to create a brand online, why are children creating brands online? Am I mad? They can listen to their parents' advice instead of tuning. I'm allergic to this bullshit. Of course, a corporate person, chief bark technology person, is going to say, yes, 5-year-olds should be creating brands. Capitalism, consumerism, consume, then just die. I've not done a video in a while, so I'm getting overexcited. I'm overextending myself. I need to calm down. While Ethan and his family feel that he only has a positive kidfluencer experience, for now, other families not been so lucky. Stacey Woodhams began posting pictures of her son, Ralphie, on Instagram in 2016. He was 1, the baby influencing industry was still in nappies. I didn't even know what a hashtag was. What, back in 2016? You liar, Stacey. Don't turn my office into a house of lies. My audience was a couple of friends, family members. As well as talking about the realities of motherhood, Stacey was keen to support small independent clothing businesses, often looked online for inspiration when buying clothes for her baby son. With each outfit bought, she would take a picture of Ralphie in it and then post the snap online, tagging the businesses. It helped her following grow, but also boost interest in the clothes realtors. Okay, so basically, as Ralphie's Insta popularity increased, the family was soon being gifted vouchers, products, experiences, trips, and hotel stays in return for social media posts featuring the brand in question. We were just a normal family. We never expected our opinion would be so valued by businesses to such an extent. So Stacey also used the exposure to build a modelling portfolio for her son. He went on to model for several kidswear brands. What started out as an innocent, mutually beneficent venture soon turned sour for Stacey after she did some interviews sharing her story. She got backlash and it caught her off guard. People were direct messaging me accusing us of endangering our son, which was absolutely untrue. Okay. It was mentally, physically and emotionally draining. I needed to consider my own mental health. She's more concerned about her mental health, which, fair enough, rather than her baby who's being put on Instagram. What if, I don't know, if I was a famous baby on Instagram, what's so funny about that? And then I grew up, right? And then I found, I don't know, I have a proclivity to just get annoyed at anything. So I think I would find that irritating and be like, Mum, why did you put pictures of me when I was a baby on Instagram and my nappy's why? I'd be annoyed by that. Should we get... Because it's not like how it used to be 20 years ago when you take pictures of your babies and then keep them in an album. Now, millions or billions of people can, at any point, if you're posting this stuff publicly, look at that. And what if the babies were... what if, those really cringy photo shoots that parents do of their children? Where, they dress up their baby as Gollum or something. What if the baby grows up and is actually really pissed off that their parents did that because maybe they're shy or introverted or whatever? I feel like people aren't really thinking that much into the future. They're thinking of what's benefiting them now. One teenager in the US ended up being horrifically stalked after becoming a TikTok star. With over 1 million followers, Ava Murgery first joined the platform in 2020 when she was 13. Her videos caught the attention of an 18-year-old Eric Rohan who began stalking her. He would bombard her with endless messages, often asking for more explicit content. When told no, he became threatening. The teen managed to buy Ava's address from old school friends and turned up at the family home in Florida last summer with a gun. Ava's dad shot Eric dead. He was never charged as the killing was deemed legal. The family have recently spoken about their experience to the New York Times Post while Ava has continued to post videos on TikTok. Why should we allow them to stop her, the teen's mother said. Maybe she meant to bring awareness to all this. everyone wants their life to have meaning, yeah, but I feel like some people really just want to go down history books for something. And this mother being like, maybe her point of her existence is that she's meant to bring awareness to how crazy people are acting on the internet. I don't know. I think that's an odd thing to say when your daughter's safety was compromised by someone turning up with a gun. Right, this geezer, Liam Hackett, the CEO of Ditch the Label, a global youth charity that helps young people through some of the most difficult issues in their lives, has said that I think in 20 years' time we're going to see kid influencers' grievances take their parents to court because they've been published online without their permission. Ed McGee said the potential there is for a child to be exploited by advertising agencies and for adults not to realise what's happening. I think some parents, they haven't quite understood the risk. No, but they understand the money signs when their kid is being paid like 20 grand to promote carbonated water on TikTok. Then there's a whole bit about a positive of a social media kid influencer and other kid influencers. This child called Alizee, who's 6 years old, and further down the article is quoted as saying, "The rude comments are never nice," she says softly, "but mummy and daddy protect me." Shockingly, the nasty comments always come from adults, not children. Yeah, I can imagine that. But, like, why is a 6-year-old reading comments? She's got almost 500,000 followers on Facebook. Why is a 6-year-old reading comments? A 6-year-old shouldn't be reading the comments on that. Am I living in La La Land? The parents could read that. Like, I think on my podcast, Kadikarus made a really good point that his family, the children, they don't read the comments on his Instagram. And, you know, like one time he did get a mean comment about the children, and he was like, well, they're not reading it, so you're not hurting them, are you? Yeah, oh my god. The only thing that's popped into my mind right now, and I'm aware this video is already really long, is I don't have an answer for any of this, and I'm not going to pretend that I do. Sometimes I do genuinely feel like there should be a kind of separation, that kids should have a kid internet and adults should have an adult internet, and there shouldn't be a crossover. Like 6-year-olds shouldn't be interacting with adults being dickheads or even adults being like that positive. I do think sometimes, anyway, not all the time, sometimes I do think there should be some form of separation, especially when you consider things like, do you remember ages ago when Keemstar and H3H3 were both being equally pathetic and trying to get their audiences to go after each other's sponsors? Because for some reason people really think that companies who just make like bottled water or G Fuel or whatever are moral arbiters. And then remember, some people like myself told them to grow up and behave, because weaponizing your audience, it's just not a good move in the slightest. And if like people like that keep up behavior like that, then YouTube themselves will probably get involved, and then it will just cause bigger restrictions for the rest of us who aren't acting like immature 12-year-olds, right? Companies only really care, most of them anyway, about making money and making profits. So like, if someone hasn't done something wrong, but a lie has, say an influencer hasn't done something wrong, but a lie has been spread that they have done something wrong, and then you get millions of people complaining to that company, and then the company drops them, and it causes all this furore, and there's some like fake virtue signaling and like fake grandstanding, whatever. From what I've seen in my experience, it's usually children or like 14-year-olds on Twitter who like want to make a difference in the world via Twitter, who promote that kind of behavior. And I don't see why most of it should even be factored in to adults making decisions. Maybe that's just me being a bit holier than thou, because I am indeed an adult and I'm not a 12-year-old. But you remember what you were like when you were 12. I remember what I was like when I was 12. I was very, very, very dramatic, if you can imagine that. My opinion shouldn't have been taken that seriously by adults or people in companies, whatever. You know, like, sometimes I do feel that there should be some form of separation. To use my previous point, you know, when Charli D'Amelio doesn't really do anything and then gets cancelled and gets millions of people hating on her, like that's not really adults doing it then, right? But then that leads into the other conversation of, well, people are always going to be dicks, so how do you sort out this problem on social media? Because, like, yeah, I think, like, people have always been dicks throughout history, right? Let's get that straight out there. People have always found weird ways to torture each other, where it's whether mentally or physically. What did I read the other day that really grinded my gears? Oh, that's it. I was reading the comments on an article about Jimmy Carr being in trouble for his recent stand-up set on Netflix, and one of them was like, they hadn't seen the set, but they said something to the effect of, "This is one of the most horrific things I've ever read about," like about his joke, right? And I was kind of like, oh my, please, I beg, please read a history book. Please read up this Wikipedia and like a Wikipedia entry on something like the boats, torture method, or the brass ball, or anything. Please broaden your horizons. Read a history book. Like, humans have been vile to each other since the dawn of humanity, right? And I do feel like with social media there is a bit more of a disconnect because the person's not in front of you. They're just binary code in a phone, and you can be like, you're ugly, you're fat, and there's a disconnect from you doing that. It's kind of like, I'm getting so off topic. There's an emotional disconnect and detachment similar to someone pushing a button and 100 miles away a village gets blown up. Who was it that said access to the nuclear code should be stored in whatever country leader's best friend's chest? So to access the nuclear codes, to, nuke another country's smithereens, they would have to kill their closest friend to do so. It would make people think twice about doing this kind of stuff. Anyway, besides the point. And then there's the broader conversation of, well, maybe we should all have to upload identification to Silicon Valley to use technically their internet, which that conversation kind of drives me insane. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I have the answer because I genuinely don't. I don't know what needs to be done about this kind of stuff. But I feel like the types of people that say that type of thing, like Jim Chapman, Tanya Burr's ex-husband, in the video, The Diary of a CEO, the interview he did, he was pro that, and you know that that's coming from a self-serving place of, well, sometimes people criticize, because those types of influencers, they don't like anyone criticizing anything they do, like whether valid or invalid, right? And I don't trust where that viewpoint comes from, because there's vested self-interest in, well, if everyone had to use identification and upload it, then maybe they'd make like less mean comments to me. Right, it craves self-serving. Because not everyone hides behind troll accounts to be mean. I see people like on my Facebook with their real names being dicks to each other. So I really don't think it would stop it that much. And B, there are people in countries who are oppressed and use the internet anonymously as a way of expressing themselves. They might be in a country where being gay is forbidden by the death penalty. And so they use an anonymous Twitter account to talk to other people of the LGBT community in different countries, right? C, Silicon Valley is not your friend. I don't think Facebook should be getting my passport picture. And firstly, it's not a flattering picture. Secondly, I don't think Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok deserves that kind of information. These people aren't out to help you. A lot of them are billionaires, and again, very self-serving. I think when people like Jim Chapman, and usually Alfie Days and Zoella, say that kind of thing, they're thinking really short-sightedly, thinking only of, well, how would this affect me? It'll be a positive for me, because then no one would criticise me and we'd all live in like a rainbow bubble of flowers and we'd all go around kissing each other. I don't know what these types of people think. I saw something recently about how his new fiancée, mother of his baby, revealed that Tanya Burr cheated on Jim, and she revealed this because she was getting some mean comments about her baby, right? And her stance was, I'll take mean comments about myself and my soon-to-be husband, but not about my baby. And I just kind of think, like, it's not nice to receive nasty comments about your baby. It's not. But it's not hurting the baby because the baby can't read. It's like if someone made nasty comments about if I had a pet and someone was like, "Oh, your pet's ugly." Well, my pet can't read and they're beautiful and it doesn't matter. And also, if you don't read comments, you can't see people being negative. Plus, not being funny. Using that as an excuse to reveal the shocking revelation. Wasn't really that shocking, come on. If you're in the know about this stuff, it's not that shocking. I have to be like, I may not talk about drama anymore, but I'm still in the know, in the loop about a lot of things, because I am indeed writing a book about influencers, and a fictional book about the stupid shit they get up to, right? But using that as an excuse to be like, oh, Tanya was the one that, cheated on Jim. And then everyone was like, oh my God, Jim is like the sweetest person. And look, I'm the first person to criticise Tanya Burr. First person. Didn't I do a whole fucking video about how her makeup gave me like 4th degree burn? I'm joking. But still, what an excuse. She just doesn't like her. Cheating is bad, but it's also none of our business what went on in their marriage. And using such vague... Like their point of view was, oh, we're getting a lot of criticism and hate, so we're just going to turn that onto my ex-wife and not give any proper details, so then people can really run amok with their imagination. Because what does it even mean anyway? She might have just held someone else's... No. But still, it's none of our business. We shouldn't be talking about this. What I'm doing right now is I'm talking to try and work out where my opinion lies. And maybe you guys can join in and chat amongst yourselves in the comment section, and I might deign to read a few of them. Might stoop to that. I'm joking. I think if you have a kid that is a kidfluencer, the only way they're going to know about like the negativity and negative comments is if you let them read the comments. And like, a 6-year-old, why the hell is a 6-year-old on Facebook of all places, like the most boomerist platform, right? A 6-year-old shouldn't be reading that stuff. Like, you're letting them do it. A 9-year-old is only going to want to do some sponsored posts on Instagram if their parent is like pushing them to do it for money. What was it Jim's fiance Sarah said as well? Something like, I just want to be like a normal mum and be, sharing pictures of my baby. In my private life, right, almost everyone I know who uses Instagram has a private account. If you have 100 followers on Instagram, you can't just treat it like, oh, I'm just a normal person. Like, I feel that it's important for you to put up those boundaries yourself, but then of course, why would you if you can keep things public and then promote, I don't know, like a new pram and get 10 grand for posting that? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there a way to have your child be a child star and not be exploited by someone? Probably not. I don't know, I think I'm all out of things to say with this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is it possible to have your children be online with millions of followers and there not to be a level of exploitation that is going on, whether it's by the parents, the companies, or whatever? Do you reckon it's possible? Not about kids who are online, have 10 followers, specifically kid influencers and the parents behind them. And regarding the identification issue with like entrusting Silicon Valley with your private, they've sold us so much of our data anyway. Does it really matter if they have my passport photo? I don't know. But I'm willing to listen to people who are much smarter than me, much more well-versed, much more qualified to talk about this stuff, right? I'm willing to listen to someone who's like, no, it would be a good idea. Here's all the positives. This is why, and here's how we can minimize any of the negatives. I'd be willing to listen to someone like that. I'm not willing to listen to a Jim Chapman or a Zoella who are only thinking in terms of, oh, someone called me a bitch one time. Okay, like people probably call me a bitch all the time. Just shut your ears, go la 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 la. Close your eyes, it's fine. Do what I do. Disable comments on things, don't interact with people, so then you're doing it for yourself and for fun. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Check out my TikTok. If you've got any angry comments about my TikTok but you can't put them on TikTok because I've banned comments, then put them over here, mate. I won't read them. See you next time. Bye.